Well, this one is an instructional video. We usually put out instructional videos on how to build shelters, working with the landscape. Um, also, in that manner, working with the landscape, how to find water and coax fire from the materials at hand, how to gather food through the seasons, whether it's tracking and understanding animal behavior and how an environment expresses a unique menu, if you will, of rodents to raptors, and how to do that seasonally. Those are skills. Those are skills that express in a physical manner using your own body and awareness and interacting with the landscape. You could bring those skills home. We're not going to do that. We're going to kind of explore the internal landscape as it pertains to somebody in your position, somebody who, thanks to this pandemic, has been made acutely aware of their own impending demise. And that's just part of the universally shared story that we have, all of us. The primal or original shared story that starts with our birth and runs the gamut of emotions and reactions, choices, options, consequences, until the ending at our death. It's an honor to share that story with you. So roll up your sleeves, we're gonna get to work. Survival attitude. You know, I share this series of technologies in the attitude portions of the survival and earth living classes because it's so vitally important. It's the primer or the foundation from which all else is built. From shelter to picking raspberries. You want to optimize your efficiency and effectiveness, you're going to have to take a long, hard, painful look at your internal landscape and compare it to the reality that you're leaving in your wake. And that's a daily practice. Now, when you do that, some really cool things come online. Your passion for life replaces the guilt of sitting on the couch for an extra 3 hours or finishing that box of donuts. You instead look at that quote-unquote wasted time as a kick in the butt, or those empty calories that made you feel a little lethargic afterwards as a reminder to use the fuel you ingest efficiently, because these are uncertain times. Well, you know what the secret is? There are always uncertain times. Change is the only constant in the universe. There's no such thing as job security. However, you can develop a set of waypoints or anchor points, if you will, in your internal landscape. So in the beginning of this series, I mentioned how important finding that one thing that you're thankful for, that thing that gets you out of bed, your reason for living that puts a smile on your face and maybe works you to exhaustion. And then just amp that with every thought you have. You're gonna have to script over these old brain patterns. With every thought you have, you address it through the lens of what you're thankful for. And suddenly you start rewriting scripts. You start owning your own thoughts and actions. Whatever got us into this is past. We can't change it. If you're wasting too much time blaming others or doing the research to see what could have done, should have done, no, you're wasting your time. We need those resources that you bring to bear online, in the moment, either as a community leader or a provider of information, not politically charged doom and gloom, but information that leads people to their own way out, or prevention around hygiene protocols during a pandemic. Maybe it's just reaching out to people that you know who are elderly to make sure that they know they're thought of. So developing these anchor points started with being thankful. Now it's time to develop that beyond the elementary level of emotional intelligence as far as not just survival but thriving goes. Being thankful is the first step. The second step is, how can I bring the artisan self, the craftsman self, the higher self with regard to my skill sets, what I love to do and what I'm good at, to bear to serve my people. If you're a writer, maybe you're writing articles, sharing awareness, procedures, protocols, ideas around, for instance, herbal immune system supports, or creating a network in the community, how to break the ice with neighbors maybe you've never talked to before, so you can offer supports before it gets bad. Because if you don't do it now, instead of exchanging words, you might be exchanging hostile words, or worse. So this is an important time to develop your anchors in a shared story that we're all going through. And now add to this shared story of life and the tumultuous roller coaster in between our demise, this pandemic, and we have a lot we can discuss and work with together. I look forward to hearing your questions, your comments, your ideas, and what you bring to the table. See you on the trail.